3 of our alternative Chelsea coverage. We can't be there, so we're bringing Chelsea to you. And it's my favourite flower today, and so I'm going to be actually making you a gorgeous hand-tied bouquet all about the rose. Sit back and enjoy.
The Rose by Georgina Rossetti. O rose, thou flower of flowers, thou fragrant wonder, who shall describe thee in thy ruddy prime, thy perfect fullness in the summertime, when the pale leaves blushingly part asunder and show the warm red heart lies glowing under? Thou shouldst bloom surely in some sunny clime, untouched by blights and chilly winter's rime, where lightnings never flash nor peals the thunder. And yet in happier spheres they cannot need thee so much as we do with our weight of woe. Perhaps they would not tend, perhaps not heed thee, and thou wouldst lonely and neglected grow. And he, who is all-wise, he hath decreed thee to gladden earth and cheer all hearts below.
Today we're celebrating the rose. So what better way to celebrate the rose by making a beautiful hand-tied bouquet? I've got many different types of roses here. A garden rose called Retro Love, key colour. A beautiful pale lilac, long-headed, long-stemmed rose, Bounty Way. And the amazing Silver Shadow spray rose. Lovely, lovely, large amount of heads on that spray rose. And I'm going to make them into my hand-tied bouquet, using some other flowers as well to really bring out the different textures and tones. Those other flowers are going to be the Eryngium, some white Eryngium, some lovely white Astilbe, and of course, we often use Lisianthus. You'll see today we've got a very white, frilly Lisianthus as our flower to use as our filler flower. Now I've got to feature hydrangeas as well. I've got this pink emerald, pale pink emerald hydrangea. I'm not going to make them too overwhelming, but they're going to feature in our bouquet. In fact, I'm going to start with one of those and some of this gorgeous foliage. Here we go. We need to think about how large our bouquet is going to be, where we're going to hold it. That where we hold it is where we put all our flowers, and that becomes our binding point, where we tie off the bouquet. So we cut it, put it into our water. I'm going to have a reasonably low binding point because I'm envisaging a lovely large bouquet. So that means we don't want any foliage or leaves below where my hands are. To create our lovely round dome effect, we need to spiral our stems. And we do that by placing them all in the same way. There are different methods to use. My favourite method is to go diagonally in front of my hand that's holding the stems, and I go diagonally from the top left to the bottom right. I place it there, and I'm looking to get a real mixture, placing all these flowers in, a real mixture, as you might find the flowers in nature. Already I love that little combination of the spikiness of the Eryngium against the lovely, delicate, round shape of the rose. So, let's build up our bouquet. Some of that. Everything's going in the same way. Also some gorgeous eucalyptus foliage. And to really give some height and length, look at the stems on that soft ruscus and the beautiful curve we can use to give our bouquet a dramatic shape. Pulling it over there. Get a little bit nearer for you so you can see. I'm going to turn now. Keep adding the roses. This is all about the rose. Adding them. Mixing up some alternative flowers. Here's my Eryngium. Maybe it's time for our second hydrangea. Very nicely. tones. We used a toning kind of palette here of pinks, lilacs, little hints of white. Contrast. Let's see this one. Just having a look to see where I can spot an opportunity to put some more in. Working with the stems of the foliage. There's that lovely gardening feel. Let's see. Bounty way, going between those two. Some shadow as well. There, I think reaching the end of my ability to hold it. But let's have a look. A couple more spaces. Gorgeous eucalyptus. It tones in so well with these pinky, lilac-y shades, pale green, almost grey colour, isn't it? Eucalyptus. There. Now it's just, there's a Lisianthus. There, I think we'll stop. You can keep going and going with hand ties until your hand gets too small. Beautiful, delicate pastel colours of the roses. Gorgeous hand-tied bouquet. We need to tie it, of course. Tie it now. Above my hand. Round a couple of times. We'll rest it on the side of our counter. Pull. And to put it in your water, you would decide, how long do you need your stems? They'll nicely come down, remove any superfluous bits of foliage, and enjoy your beautiful summer roses.
Roses have been cultivated since biblical times. The ancient Romans strew rose petals beneath the wheels of chariots bringing home victors from battle. Plant a clove of garlic near a rose bush to keep away greenfly, and plant parsley near a rose bush to enhance its scent. The Tudor rose is the symbol of British royalty, combining the white rose of York and the red rose of Lancaster. Some native English roses are the eglantine and sweetbriar, which has a pale pink flower and a delicate scent. In general, roses like rich, well-drained soil and a sunny position. The white rose symbolises purity and is the flower of light. The red rose was made red by Aphrodite, the goddess of love, who scratched herself on a rose thorn as she went to comfort her lover Adonis, who had been gored by a wild bull. Her blood stained the rose petals red, and ever since the red rose has been a symbol of love.
Hello, today I'm going to talk about the Chelsea chop. It's a way of prolonging the flowering season of herbaceous perennials. Here I've got Shasta daisies. and I'm going to demonstrate how to do it on here. Basically, you get secateurs, you take about a third or a half off. You take a nice clean cut just above a leaf node, like that, and you tend to do it in about sort of half of them. You can either do it dotted around, or you could just do one area and leave the other one. What this does is it prolongs the flowering season for about 4 to 6 weeks, so you'll get the first ones flowering, and then the ones you've chopped will then flower that much later. It's called the Chelsea Chop because it's done at the end of May, same time as the Chelsea Flower Show. It can be done with lots of flowering perennials, things like asters, echinaceas, penstemons, campanulas, well, loads of them anyway.
Extract from Cyril Fletcher's Rose Book, and as beautiful as any poem. The rose is surely the queen of flowers. It is a flower apart. There is a wonder about it. Pick an opening bud of a Papa Mayland rose. It is the darkest of reds, and in its innermost recesses it is a shadowy black. Breathe in its perfume. It is velvet to touch and velvet scented on the air. Next to your skin, it is velvet again. No, it is veined satin. A rose is more than just a flower. It brings with it a glimmer of the whys and wherefores of creation. There must be an inner meaning to the mystery of their loveliness.